Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Check the Score podcast. Today we have a very special guest. We have
Phew.
the biggest doggies fan, self-claimed.
I don't know if I claim that. Do I claim?
I feel like you could claim it
I,
easily.
I think I've started saying I'm the face of the doggies fans. I'm the
Yeah, you're the
voice.
voice for the
That's
doggies
what I've
fans.
started I'm not even. That's not even self-proclaimed. I've been called that by people, like people at the Bulldogs. So I'm the voice of the Bulldogs. I'm happy to say
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah. No. I think that's good though. Like you've been doing a lot of stuff with the dogs, and obviously you film your well, at least when the season was on, you were filming your vlogs pretty
Yeah.
much every single week. You were doing your podcast as well, which we'll get into a little bit later. But what do you have planned for this year? Like, what are you looking at on the horizons for your content? Because obviously that's something you. Obviously, we just go to uni together. Like
Yeah.
that's our connection. But
Yeah.
obviously, you hold your content near and dear to you, and obviously that's something you take with a lot of pride. Like, would you have anything planned or any goals or stuff you want to do this year?
Not particularly. I'll probably just keep making content day to day, week to week, and just see where it leads. Obviously, last year it led to some pretty cool spots.
Yep.
And so hopefully just grow on that, leverage, I guess, the positions I'm in, and then just keep making the content and hope good things keep happening off the back of it.
Because you've been keeping up the TikToks I've been seeing.
Yeah, I try and post once a day. That's the goal.
That's good.
Yeah.
What was like, well, I know part of this story, but what was like the real like spark where you're like, I want to do TikTok? I know part of this story, but
Which,
I feel like it's a good story.
what's the story you know?
That there was a girl that you went to school
Yeah.
with?
yeah. So there was a chick in my PE class, and it was like 2019. TikTok, I think Musical.ly had just become TikTok. So TikTok it was right as it was sort of transitioning from like kids dancing into like actual content.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2019, and this chick had like 60 followers and was like, "I'm TikTok famous." And, like all her friends were calling her TikTok famous. I'm like, bro, like I could get 60 followers overnight if I wanted to. And so like jumped on, and the first video I made was like me kicking a goal, put like some Travis Scott music over it and some filters and stuff. Super basic, like just almost cringe. It was almost cringe.
Yeah.
Like almost intentionally cringe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I posted that at like night and woke up, had like 3,000 views,
Yeah.
bunch of followers. And then from there, I don't know if I was posting every day at that stage, but pretty much anytime an idea came to my head, and this was not like NRL Bulldogs content. This was just if I thought of something that I thought was like entertaining or funny or like could go viral, I'd do it, and was getting like less than 50 views per video. And then eventually I had like a video crack at 300, and then I remember like my first video that got 1,000 views, and like my mind was blown. Like I was like, I'm famous. I got 1,000 views, and yeah.
Like 1,000 views on TikTok isn't anything. You're not making many moves, right? But when you think about it, sheer numbers, 1,000 people have just seen what you've done. Like I don't know. To me, that's just like.
Well, imagine like we're sitting in a room right now. Imagine there's 1,000 people in this room watching us.
Well, also those 1,000 views aren't necessarily unique views.
On TikTok, they are. On TikTok, they're unique. If you watch a TikTok twice, it's 1 view.
I didn't know that.
But like, say Instagram Reels, if I watch it 10 times, that's 10 views. But on TikTok,
same with YouTube.
One person's
YouTube
1 view.
also it calculates. It doesn't calculate unique views. If you go into your like analytics, it'll tell you the unique views.
Yeah, like I can go and watch I can open my laptop and play my podcast on repeat and get all the views up. But yeah, on TikTok doesn't work that way.
Awesome.
So there you go.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Not many people do. Weirdly, not many people do.
You probably know almost the algorithm better than
yeah.
most
I know a thing or two.
Yeah, I'd figure. So
yeah, it's funny though because I can literally remember. So I was on an art excursion.
Yep.
We'd gone so we're in Sydney, December 2019, right before the fires actually.
Yep.
Like literally right before the fires, and like we went around and I filmed like these artworks, and then filmed my mates pulling the faces of the artworks, and that got 300 videos.
I remember that.
And I was walking around the art gallery like going, oh, like 300 views, this is insane. And then do you know the Joker movie?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I know.
I very poorly recreated the dance down the stairs outside the Opera House, and that got 1,000 views like within an hour.
Footy content. It was
I didn't do footy content until like the first year of uni. Like,
so you started literally like probably 9 months before I did. I never got on TikTok. I just started the podcast I started the initial podcast, which was Josh Talks Ball at the time, in semester 2 of uni in the first year. But you'd obviously been doing
So yeah, I started TikTok like 2019, just posting pretty much. I guess you could almost just say like memes and like little skits and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there was like sports content as well as
Yeah.
time went on, because like I just love the Bulldogs and love sports so much that obviously that just seeps in. And then yeah, eventually you sort of find your niche. But I wouldn't say that like I was going hard at Bulldogs and NRL and sport until first year uni.
Yeah, absolutely. Because obviously now, well, it's on hold at the moment, but you obviously do the Orange Peels podcast
Yep.
with Zane, who's also another like semi-big personality
Yeah.
on TikTok, at least in the NRL community.
Yeah.
And like you had a podcast before that, didn't you? It was the
Yeah,
Dog
so I did the
Dish?
dog dish. I feel like that was first year uni, and that was like so inconsistent. That was like,
Well, that was like how I used to.
yeah,
do it. So,
it was very. I barely remember how I did it. I think I just was recording on my phone or like with a crappy came up mic, and then just recorded that not consistently at all.
Yeah.
Literally a couple episodes in the season.
yeah. Well, I guess well, obviously we all got to start somewhere. I started with that. I started because obviously it was a DA project for
Yeah.
uni, which is probably what kept you consistent at the start, at least from memory.
Well, that's sort of how I started making the push. I think maybe towards when I started going a little bit hard at NRL content was either right before the first year of uni or in the first semester, and I was around like 7,000 followers on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then my DA for semester 2 in our first year
Yeah.
was get 10K and make $1. That was like
I remember
pretty
the
much my
$1
DA.
thing.
I was
remember
like,
that.
I want to monetize it, but like not like I don't want thousands of dollars. Like I just want to start the monetization process.
Yeah.
And hit the 10K, made like I think I made $50 or something like.
That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
because I had like a jersey sponsor or something jump on, and at the end of it, I still remember this. I won't name the tutor, but in my marks, and I got like a HD, and in my marks, they were like, if you keep going with this, like, who knows what could happen.
Absolutely.
And it's like funny looking back on it 12
Yeah.
months later, like
yeah, it's
stuff
like,
has happened.
yeah, stuff is kind of paved. Like there's been
Yeah.
like pathways that have been paved for you.
Yeah.
But also like with that, obviously your TikTok,
TikTok.
your TikTok account notoriously got banned
Yeah.
at 15K.
Oh, yeah.
It's like whenever I've mentioned you to a few people, it's like, oh, I wanted to make content this year with Winston, good mates at uni, and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
who's Winston? And I show them the account, and it's like, got like 6,500
Yeah.
followers, and then they're like, oh, I thought he was gonna be a lot bigger than that. I'm like, he was.
Yeah.
He got banned.
Yeah. I always say, you used to have 15K. It's in my bio. Like, I want to take it out of my bio, but I'm like, I need it in there because, like for example, like in the Sports Shed TV charity match, everyone's like, who is this bloke? Like, how did he get in there? He's only got 6,000 followers.
You also played
But I'm
last
like,
year, to be fair.
yeah, I played last year, and that's when I had like a bigger following. So I'm gonna keep it in my TikTok bio, banned at 15K until I get back to 15K.
Well, I think that's a nice segue.
Mm.
I was actually going to mention this. So obviously, next Saturday, Sports Shed charity match, Mark Hughes Foundation versus Ronald McDonald House.
Yeah.
I unfortunately won't be there. I've been rostered.
Dog.
I've been rostered.
You're a
I've
dog.
been rostered for work.
Where's the support?
I've been
Come
rostered
on,
for
man.
work, which is very unfortunate.
Buy a ticket anyway. It's for charity.
Yeah, I might just do
Or
that.
just buy the stream, $5.
Oh, can you buy the
Yeah,
stream?
yeah.
What time's kickoff?
4.
I finish at 5.
Yeah, but buy the stream and
Ooh.
watch it on replay.
Yeah, let's just do that.
It's not like you're gonna
I'll
open
make a
Instagram and get the
donation,
score
I'll make
spoiled.
a donation. I'll buy the stream.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
for
Hopefully.
charity.
Yeah. If
$5.
Yeah. Well, if I can actually watch the game, I'll buy the stream. If not, I'll just make a donate.
But like, if you can watch it. Like,
is
like
it-
if you buy the
is it-
stream,
is
you
it
should
just
be able to
through
watch it.
YouTube? Like
It's through Bar TV, but like once the game ends,
Oh, it's
you
through
can
Bar
watch.
TV,
You'll be able to
okay.
watch the replay.
It's not through.
Well, it was Bar TV last year, so I'm assuming it's Bar TV.
Okay. All right. Well, I might do so then.
But because I remember last year, I ended up buying the stream to get access to the game after to like
So
for
then you can
content
clip- you can
to
clip it.
watch it and stuff. Yeah.
You can clip it.
So you
Is
can
it gonna,
definitely
is it
watch a
gonna, do they have copyright on, for like if you want to clip and put on TikTok and stuff like that?
No,
or-
I remember like there was so many videos last year that went viral, just kids filming the match and making match highlights because
Yeah.
they'd bought the stream and then screen recorded it and like posted it on TikTok, and then like Jason David's try
Yeah.
and like kids
The,
went
the
viral.
one that you managed to squeeze yourself
Yeah,
into.
yeah,
I fully made a uni assessment out
yeah.
of that as well.
Oh, I nearly posted that uni assessment.
You should.
I nearly because like there's obviously like
I'll give it to you after.
no, I've got it, but there's some things I say in it that I probably can't reveal publicly.
I was gonna clip it. I was gonna put it on TikTok. I was gonna
Yeah.
clip it and put it on TikTok.
Because yeah, I was thinking like maybe I can cut it up and salvage it, but there's some things that can't be public information in it.
Yeah.
Nothing suspicious or
Nothing
anything.
suspicious. It's just
Yeah, because obviously
it's a bit immature. That's probably
yeah,
probably the best way to
but
put it.
because like we're really playing into the me versus Jason David thing, the
Yeah,
bench
14 on
utilities,
14.
and so I'm like, we've got a video of me like recounting the Jason David
Yeah,
try.
yeah.
That's such good content, but yeah,
I have a question for you. So obviously you're playing for Mark Hughes Foundation.
yes.
Who is a one to watch on your side in your first 17?
When's this airing?
This will be out on Thursday.
I don't want to reveal much because
No. I just want someone who like you think is gonna like. I think a lot of people, especially with everyone being media personalities, kind of has an idea of like this person's gonna be a bit better
yeah.
than this person.
Well,
blah, blah, blah.
I'll give you some deeper tips off camera because there's a couple where I'm like, I think you'll appreciate some of the information,
Okay.
but because
Non-disclosed.
'cause, like,
I've got to sign an NDA.
because yeah, I'll get you to sign an NDA, but we're named 1 to 17, and so's the other team. But I've heard like the other team's changing it up a little bit because like just because it's
bringing in there like 18 to 21st. Like
oh mate, yeah, and then even just moving around some of the starters and stuff. So the name teams, it's like in the NRL, team list Tuesday. That's not what runs out on the weekend, and so
right.
and so yeah.
When will the official lineup be? In an hour before kickoff?
I honestly don't think there'll be an official lineup. I think
that drop would be so funny.
I think players will be running out and everyone's going to be confused. Like he's got number 1 on his back. Why is he in the halves?
And
stuff
also
like that.
no JBK this year.
Yeah. So they're named on the very extended bench in the number 0 jersey.
I've seen that. Are they both on the same side or split?
They've split them up.
Okay.
They're rumored to be at the Super Bowl, and so hard to play in the charity match at the Super Bowl. But yeah, I'll give you a player to watch. I think Trademark Sports. I think in the halves will be good at 6.
He plays, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he used to because he's he'll play anywhere. He's got dog in. You talk about players having dog in him. I remember like last year, he was playing front row at one stage, and he's like my size. He's like built more, but
yeah, so
in terms of
roughly
height,
the same height as the both of us, but he'd probably be a bit.
yeah, he's bulky as, and so he can. And then like obviously if you're familiar with the game, Dan from What's New in the Castle, he's our big prop, and there's a lot of talk around him.
Okay.
Do you know the Cast Patrol boys?
Yeah, I know the Cast Patrol boys.
Yeah, so there's a lot of talk from them about Dan saying how age from Cast Patrol is going to stop him and stuff.
Right.
But so I think like he's probably one of our better players. He's big front rower. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be a good day. Look, it's definitely going to be bigger and better than last year.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's easy to say that these type of events have taken inspiration from a lot of stuff that's happened, like in the UK, like you see with like.
Well, it's
not like the Sidemen have their own.
You can't say it's a direct copy. It's a different sport. It's taking complete inspiration from the Sidemen.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like yeah, that's it. Yeah, directly, and they don't hide from that either. Like yeah.
Yeah, like look, different code of sport, different continent altogether.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's
and not as big as
the
well.
idea's been copied, but the execution's completely different.
Yeah,
it's like look. The personalities playing in this game are nowhere near as big as the stars playing in that game. It's a lot more small scale, but the sentiment's the same. It's good.
Yeah.
Both teams represent a charity. Actually, no, I think there's multiple charities in the Sidemen one. They just split the funds. But there's obviously those charities. You guys have 2 charities both teams are playing for. It makes sense. It's very just it's just wholesome. Like the whole thing is just it's for a good cause. Like who can blame it,
Yeah, and like as you said, it's going to be bigger and better than last year. I think just in terms of even the quality of the game, like teams are actually training this year.
Yeah, which obviously we've been seeing the TikToks circulate.
Yeah, and even like just pretty much you name an aspect of what goes into it, and it's better this year. Like even just content around it, just everything's just even a little bit better.
Do you know the best TikTok that I've seen? Of this whole thing? And it's actually one that you were in the background of.
The Nick Stab getting whacked.
It was Nick Stab get a shot put on him by is it Malachi?
Yeah, Malachi.
By Tenny Zalesniak.
Yeah, got whacked.
I actually feel sorry for the man.
In like you see my reaction.
You're in the back and you just like gasping.
That reaction was not like set up. Like that was my just actual reaction. I was like, oh,
like right in the sternum.
Yeah, like you could hear the contact. Obviously, you can hear it in the video, but in person, from where I was standing, you could hear it just bang.
It was so bad, and I love the fact that like it was like, oh, you're a soccer boy, blah blah blah, and he's wearing the Arsenal kit.
Yeah,
and then he gets put on a shot. And he's like, yeah, I might stick to it.
Yeah,
like, it was.
I honestly didn't know if he was getting up. Like I was like, oh, we've stuffed up here.
So you guys got Malachi and the other Ronald McDonald House got Josh Mansour, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
so pretty much just people know him, and
Yeah,
so just
that makes
got him to
sense.
bring him along. So yeah, A Chichu from our team, mates with Malachi, and so
Right.
got him to come along to training and
Yeah.
just took advantage of having him there for content purposes.
Yeah. And what was the connection with Mansour? Don't
I
you know?
I'm not sure, but I just assume somebody knows him or he heard about the game and just put his hand
Well,
up
look,
because he's a
look,
good
he has
guy.
his own podcast, obviously,
Yeah,
the Let's Chop podcast, and
yeah,
with that, I think obviously word spread, and he
yeah,
probably wants to interact with more people.
yeah,
That like obviously, there's a lot of ex rugby league players that have gone into podcasting spaces or media spaces, but the people that are playing in this game are true like started from nothing
yeah, yeah,
media
yeah,
space guys. Like
yeah,
they've had no backing whatsoever. They've kind of just like launched themselves
yeah.
into
They're
the
not
deep
ex
end.
NRL
Exactly,
players.
and I
Yeah,
think it's good for it's almost like this like he's the very high production, the highest end of the highest end, and you guys look, you guys make great content, but it's not absolute high production. But
yeah,
that's half the reason why it's so good. Everyone's like, we like that it's like not so super professional with all the fancy edits and stuff like that. It's just
yeah,
like it's true raw fandom
yeah.
almost.
100%,
But yeah,
100%.
um, as well as that, let's talk about the jersey you've got on right now. How do you think those boys are going to do this year?
You know, yeah, you know what I think, Josh. You know what I think.
Well, care to explain it? Care to explain it?
They're winning the comp. They are
Doggies
winning the comp.
2024. Not only has he said this all of last year since we've been like close mates, but allegedly he's been saying it for the past decade.
I've got mates that can back up. I've
Oh,
been
I
saying
don't
it
doubt that.
since
I don't
year
doubt that at all.
seven, since 2014, when we lost the grand final. Like since that grand final week, I've been saying like if we lose this grand final, at least we're winning in
I had a
2024.
lady at work come in and she was wearing a dog shirt and she never knew the whole
Yeah,
conspiracy thing. And I told her about it and she's like, I appreciate your mates like his honor and
yeah,
like he's wearing like his heart on his sleeve and he's like kind of putting it all out there, but it's just not gonna happen. And I'm like, look, for him, if it's not Cronulla,
yeah,
let the dogs have it. Let him have it.
yeah. It's annoying. It's almost annoying because like on paper, our squad is like barely top eight. But I went and watched him train yesterday, and even just watching him train, I'm like, oh, there's like something's brewing.
But
And
also, yeah,
and you look at like all the changes they've made, it because I think last year a big issue was the culture, and I think the culture is completely different now. I think
yeah,
that it's no longer a new defensive system they're trying to learn. They've got a year under their belt. Panthers began learning this defensive system 2019.
yeah,
They played the grand final in 2020. So there's all little things that like ignore the theory. There are positive signs for
yeah,
the dogs that
absolutely,
like a lot of things have to go their way.
yeah,
Like for example, they've got like no props,
yeah.
and
No, that's
so
one thing I have
and
noticed.
so blokes like Max King, Liam Knight, they have to have a career best season. But if they do have a career best season, there's no reason we can't be
You
top
were
eight.
also linked with a bunch of other guys. Like you're linked with Siwa Tokano.
Mm.
Oh, sorry, I probably butchered that name.
I think you actually got that right.
You were butchered. Not you were butchered. No, you were linked.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
I'm having a blinder today. You were linked with him
yeah,
from Super League. Obviously, that's clearly fallen through. You were
yeah.
linked with Tino last season. You like all these props, right? And obviously, they're calling you guys Utility FC at the moment.
Yeah,
With
we are utility FC. We are. There's no hiding from it. We've signed what 7 or 8 utilities, and
like
some of them make sense. I think now that they've been training stuff, some of the ones that didn't make as much sense do make sense now. But there's still
yes
a
and
couple that
no.
don't make sense.
Some it's like Connor Tracy. Like that was a really
Connor Tracy still doesn't make sense to me.
yeah.
And my
I think
main
Jaden Salmon doesn't make sense. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me.
yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Salmon, but at the same time, like what because they're gonna have him play second row and they're gonna turn him into like
A lot.
and
But
at
then you
second
got
row.
Kurt Mann.
But I'm also like, why not just sign a second rower?
You got Kurt
Like
Mann.
why
You got
sign
Josh
a contract?
Curran.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it's
Kurt
weird.
Mann makes sense.
Yeah, Kurtman's one of the one that makes sense. I think Drew Hutchison makes sense. Good
Yeah,
depth
yeah.
halfback
He can play. He
and
can play
push
center. He can
push
play
for a spot,
He
and
can
then
he can play center.
yeah,
He
and
can
worst
play
case
in the
scenario.
halves. I think he makes sense.
But yeah, Tracy's the one that upsets me the most, and like nothing against Connor Tracy
I love
either.
Connor Tracy as a Cronulla
But
fan, but
like, why would you let Jake Averillo go and then sign Connor Tracy? That's
is
my
he on
biggest
more?
issue with
Is
it.
Tracy on more?
He can't be. Not that much more.
Well,
Not about that much
well, with the
less.
cap room that we cleared from Tracy, well, we brought in for
Yeah, and then like we're so desperate for props, we should have been throwing the house at Adam Fanua Blake, and instead of like I literally would have given him nearly 1.2. Like we were so
I
desperate
don't know
for
how
him.
much he signed for at Cronulla. I don't know the
It
actual
would
specifics.
be around a mil.
I
I
reckon.
think.
I reckon it will be. I reckon about 900.
I think yeah, it
Because
land
obviously
around there.
it's you guys would have to pay overs. You guys haven't
Yeah,
played finals in when was the last year?
2016,
2016 was the last year you played
8 years.
finals. So you're gonna have to pay overs,
Yeah,
much like West, much like all these bottom two sides.
Dragons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dragons, all those
yeah.
sides, right? But Cronulla finished last season. And what they finished fifth,
Yeah,
and then we finished second the year before that. So we're pretty much a
yeah,
lock this season. We haven't lost any of our. Actually,
yeah.
we've
Like,
lost.
is there a contender?
We've lost a few players. Like we lost Graham, he retired. Tracy, um, and Moylan.
Yeah, Moylan
And
as well.
Moylan.
Yeah,
They're the three that we lost.
I think Sharks' season this year will be interesting. I think
We've got no halves depth.
I think they almost have to look straight to 2025. I think 2024 is almost a rebuilding year for the
You
Sharks.
reckon?
Yeah.
Well, everyone was like, "Oh, how on earth can they afford Fanil Blake?" Because obviously we gave Hines that contract as well.
Yeah.
But did you know that Finucane's on his contract gets slashed in half next year?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a front-loaded deal.
And that's like Fanua Blake signed in 2025, so you've got an entire year to sort out like who you keep, who you sign, who you let go, and all that.
Yeah, because we re-signed all of our backs last season, like
Yeah.
all of them: Mulatalo, Katoa, Ramian,
Yeah,
and what's his name, and Talakai. We re-signed
Yeah.
all of them. I think he might move to second row this year
there's talks
Talakai,
of it. There's talks of
because
it.
Wade Graham retired. There's a second row spot. He can play back row. I think he would be perfect.
Yeah,
Quick hands, big boy.
and you got blokes like Cal
I
Iro
was gonna say, I think he
and
might make.
Cade Dykes.
Cade Dykes,
You got
he
some
did his
ki-
ACL.
Oh,
He was out all last season with his
Yeah.
ACL, so I think he'll be back
There's
this year.
some good young players. You also this guy's super young, but you got Gabriel from the Bulldogs in the Tracy deal, and he's like
I've never
Michael
heard that name.
Gabriel. You'll know of him. You'll know it all in good time. He's
You
very
reckon
good
this
young
season
player.
his name might get
Not
shown?
not I wouldn't say this season,
How
but
old's he?
he'd be around. I'm not too sure. Maybe around 19.
Okay.
But I give it 25, 26.
Yeah,
Like 2025, 2026. You'll hear his name.
absolutely.
He's a gun.
Yeah, well, hey,
That's what made me
he-
even more upset
he
about
could be
signing
anything?
Tracy.
he could be anything.
Yeah, he could be. That's like when we signed Connor Tracy, that upset me as well. The fact we gave up a really talented local junior
Yeah.
to sign Connor Tracy, and then not only did we do that, it meant that we miss out on Adam Fanua Blake, gift Adam Fanua Blake to the team we'd signed Connor Tracy from. Like, just terrible. Man, like, why? I just don't understand why you do that. Like, you need to sign Adam Fanua Blake, but instead of doing that, you gift the Sharks Adam Fanua Blake, basically.
Yeah,
And
because his wage bill is definitely what cleared the cap room
yeah,
to get.
yeah,
Fanil Blake.
100%. It's
Because
just
obviously
so weird.
Moylan was on a lot of money as well.
Yeah.
Graham obviously
Yeah,
retired. Like those three players there is easily Fanua. Like
Yeah.
easily.
yeah, 100%.
Like even if all three of them were on 300K a year, which they're probably on definitely on more than that.
And like you got to keep in mind as well, like the cap
Yeah, it's
keeps
going
going
up,
up as well. So
Yeah. A lot of teams are almost look like they're infringing on the cap as it is. Look at
Yeah.
look at South's roster. I'm sorry.
yeah.
but, like,
Oh, I still don't know how they got Jack White in. I'm still trying to do the math on that one.
have you heard he might turn back on his decision on rep?
Yeah, of course.
I think he will. I think he will in the end.
Yeah.
Genuinely. I don't know
Probably.
about Kangaroos, but for the Blues,
Yeah.
especially with Madge
Well,
there,
with
after
Madge
he
in
was
his
the
ear,
assistant at Canberra.
Well, Madge like came out and was like, I want him to play, and so like what?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Why wouldn't he? It's
Yeah.
money.
Now that we've veered onto what 2024 may hold, do you have any outrageous opinions, or not even outrageous, any hot takes or anything like you think like could border on? Oh, that's a bit.
I have a couple of spicy takes.
Go on, hit me.
My main one that everyone just says, "What are you thinking?" And I'm like low key confident in Broncos to miss top 4, but one further, they might. I think they could fall out of the 8.
Okay, that's wild. Okay,
But, like,
top
top-
4 is hot, but it's not like I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised.
that's where I'm like,
But the 8,
you go a step further. Like
they
they've
got like
lost.
the best young roster in.
They've lost
in the comp.
Flegler, they've lost Herbie, and I think those two were big parts of their
Well, they got Dane
season.
Mariner.
And I just
They lost
Reynolds-
Palacia as well. They lost
yeah,
Palacia. He's one of the-
Kate Will as well, who like
Yeah,
obviously
Kate Will,
wasn't.
yeah.
He's not a superstar, but he's a rep player, premiership winner, and like
Yeah.
you lose that leadership and stuff.
Yeah, so they've lost 2 props. At
Back rows
rower,
become very young,
2
and
props
then
at back rower, and probably he won, and Farmworth won Center of the Year.
and then you look at Adam Reynolds. He literally got injured the other day. If he
Do they
has
know what it is yet?
it was ankle. He's back round 1 and stuff, but
No,
he-
but I'm saying like, do you reckon it'll sideline him at all? Or
Nah. They
Just a-
said
just
he'll
a
be good
sprain?
to go round 1, yeah. But he's getting more and more injury prone. If he can't string together a big chunk of the season, like I think an Adam Reynolds injury puts him out of the 8. If
Absolutely.
he's out,
Well, who they
if
got?
he's out for
They got
a lot of the
Jed.
season,
What's his name? Jed Hodkins is that his name or
who?
well, the ex West Tigers half? I forget.
Oh, Jock Madden.
Jock Madden, not Jed
Yeah,
Hodkins. Who's
yeah.
Jed?
I don't know.
That is such a. I don't know who that is.
Jock Madden.
Jock Madden. Yeah,
Yeah,
anyway.
but yeah, I'm just like, you take Adam Reynolds out of that team. I don't know how well they go, and so like it is a very hot take. I'm not hiding from it, but I just think there's a world where Adam Reynolds has an injury that sidelines him for a long time.
Yeah, no,
You just never know.
I think so too. I think
Yeah,
that is like make or break for them as well.
yeah.
Like, you got like Walsh and Reynolds.
I think
I
yeah,
think
and like
those
it's still a good roster, but like obviously Mam firing, but like
Mam,
they have
Carrigan,
lost some key players and
Haas.
nobody really acknowledges it.
Yeah, I genuinely think Penrith will win it again. I genuinely think they'll win it again.
Big chance.
They've
They'll
still
be
got Luai for one more year.
And it's a Luai farewell tour,
Yep.
which is so scary.
Yeah, I know.
I think Storm will be up there. I think there's
What do you
a
think?
lot of talk that they're doing a Bellamy farewell tour, and if they can get a healthy Pappenhausen,
What do you think about the whole Olam Blore trade?
it's hard to decide who won that trade. It was pretty even.
I think it's definitely helped both sides. But did you see that apparently West have torn up for
Yeah, that
North Limerick's
literally
doing-
right before we started recording, that came out confirmed.
it's
Not is
confirmed.
out
I
confirmed.
read the rumors.
Yeah, so yeah, rumors this morning it's been confirmed. He's
Okay, so
gone.
his deal has been ripped up. Do you
Yeah.
think he goes and joins Melbourne now?
I don't think anyone would sign him based on how everything's
You
sort of
reckon?
happened. Like, why would a club, unless they're
It's Benji's former
desperate,
teammate. I don't get it. Like
unless they're desperate, like he's clearly got issues. So I don't know why a club would do it.
who might need outside backs? Like use him.
Like I don't think Storm need outside backs. Like I guess they did just lose Olin, but like they got Meany, Farlungo,
Marion Seve.
they got
all those guys.
Seve, Warbrick, Smith. Like
Coates.
they're sort of set. Coates. I mean, I guess on minimum maybe. Like maybe I feel like Eels. Eels are sort of in need of an outside back. I don't know.
Who they got? They got Sean Russell and Mike Acevo on the wings.
Yeah, they sort of
And then
more so need a
Will
centre.
Penasini
Yeah,
and-
the other centre spot's a bit like that one centre spot and
Sean
then
Russell
that
can play
winger.
centre because he can play fullback
Yeah,
as well.
like
so-
I don't know if I'd say Noflima walks into the Eels team, but he comes close.
Yeah, no, that does make sense.
Like
It's
if you
another Sydney
and
team.
you'd
West-
get him
Western
on
Sydney.
minimum. You'd get him on minimum.
It's another Sydney team. It makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a few teams that could just use him as depth, like Dragons, sort of just
I think
experience
even
and depth.
as-
South to a
as
degree,
depth.
just as depth.
Actually, no. Well,
As depth, I think so.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say because they've still got what's his name on the books. Who's the centre that Whiten's going to take the spot for?
Oh yeah, Tass.
Tass.
Yeah,
Tass. Because they reckon they're going to move him onto the wing.
and they got Munro there.
Munro,
That Thompson guy that they had there.
yeah, Isaac Thompson.
Yeah.
and then
But like,
Alex Johnson.
like if you're getting Noflima on minimum, it could be worth the risk
absolutely, I think so
on
too.
minimum as
Yeah.
depth.
Yeah, but like I don't know, backs aren't often an issue for a lot of clubs.
He used to be like one of the best wingers in the comp. He was like,
yeah, he was
pushing for Origin.
Dally M winner.
Yeah.
winger of like the year.
it's
and stuff like
wild.
that.
He's just fallen off. I don't know.
Absolutely. But yeah, so that was your first take.
Yeah.
Anything else? I'm trying to brew here. I'm trying to cook as we speak.
I think Sharks
yeah, go
could
on.
miss the 8. Could. I think they'll be low 8 at best. Just they've lost a couple of players. It could take them a little bit of time to adjust.
Have you seen?
And their back end of the season was a bit
Have you seen Toby Rudolph's going to go dry? Focus on his
really
Focus on his footy.
nice. I like that.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
I saw a video. I follow him on Instagram, and I saw videos of him at. I don't know if you know what Beyond the Valley is.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
music festival.
Yeah.
It's down in Melbourne. It's a big like techno festival.
Yeah.
And it's him and his mates with the doof sticks, like
Yeah.
and they're all partying, and he's got the shades on. And I'm like, this brother looks way too loose to be sober. Like,
Yeah.
but he's the type of guy that could have fun sober.
Oh,
Like,
100%. If anyone can,
if
it's
anyone
Toby
can, it's Toby
Rudolph.
Rudolph. Like literally, if there's anyone
100%.
in NRL that could have fun sober and still look loose as hell,
Toby
it's probably
Rudolph.
Toby
Yeah,
Rudolph.
100%. Cheese, I reckon.
I was gonna say Cheese is another
Cheese.
good shout.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that the Sharks will miss out, but like I think there's a world where they do. And I think but 2025, they're a contender to win the comp. So it's a weird spot they're in.
Yeah.
They really need Who's the half? Trindle. They need him to
I reckon.
fire.
Do you know what there's talk about
Yeah.
Hines and Trindle switching?
So
Hines
Hines to
6,
6.
play off the right side of the
I
ruck.
don't hate it.
Play-
Like Hines can
play-
play both sides
Oh,
anyway.
he could easily play.
But yeah, I
both
think
sides of the
there's
ruck.
a lot of pressure on Trindle this year because if he doesn't perform, like
They've put all
the
their eggs
Sharks,
into the Trindle basket.
the Sharks like need somebody to go with Hines, and so that's where I'm like, if Trindle doesn't work out, there's no
there's no backup.
there's no fix for this
We're gonna have to
season.
call up some cut player.
Yeah, and
If
so
we
that's where
have-
I'm
if
just
we have
like,
halves
there's a
injuries.
world where they miss the 8, but
It's
I
like
think
whether-
2025 they'll fire.
Yeah, it's like whether Dykes can play in the halves.
Yeah,
or
true.
if they-
Kennedy, they was talking
Ken- oh,
about going
Kennedy
into
can
the
play six
halves.
easily, I reckon.
Yeah.
He's got a decent short kicking game.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. Just there's a lot of question marks I think around the Cronulla at the moment. But
I think Titans. I think they're going to go good.
Des,
Actually, I take it back a little bit though. There's talk of Brimson going to center, and I hate that.
you reckon?
I don't like that. He's got to be fullback.
I reckon
He's like a top 10 fullback.
but so is
could-
Jaden Campbell.
He's like, I don't know if he is. Campbell's not as good as AJ Brimson.
right now, but I think 2 years time.
Maybe,
Campbell.
but like Brimson's just so safe
But
back
he's
there.
so
He's one of the
stocky,
best.
You could easily play in the set. Look at Joey Marnie.
I'm not,
Joey Marnie's a
yeah,
better fullback.
but
than
he's
he is
just.
center.
I think he's a waste at center. I think you got to be patient with
So,
Campbell.
so is Joey Marnie.
1 or
I
2
think. I
years.
think Joey
Yeah,
Marnie's better.
100%.
So like,
But they just. It's James Tedesco that's keeping Joseph Manu out of fullback.
yeah,
He's like the New South Wales and Australia captain, one of the best fullbacks all time.
yeah, I get
Jaden
that.
Campbell, give him another 2 years.
In what?
And then
playing at the
if you-
14 jersey.
Even just in cup for a year or two. Let him work at his craft, and then when Foran moves on, move Brimson into the halves. Campbell comes in at fullback. You've got to have a succession plan.
Or you could. Do you reckon there's a world where they move off Tanner Boyd to put Brimson at 6
And that's
Foran
like-
at 7?
Like, no, I don't think, like, you just can't do that. Like, I
don't
think Brimson has to be fullback.
Yeah.
Especially under Des Hasler, who has a history of
Yeah.
turning, like, high-class fullbacks into the best fullback in the game. You look at Ben Barber, 2012.
Yeah.
Tommy Turbo, 2021.
Yeah.
Two of the 3 best
But if
individual
he's
seasons
made that
all
judgment
time.
call, clearly.
That's the other thing though. There's knows fullback, so if he's gone
Yeah.
Campbell at fullback, I think maybe Campbell's the one that's in for a big season.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
But yeah, do you know one side I'm very interested to see? I think a lot of people are because I think everyone's like put a lot of question marks on them. Obviously, I still think they're going to be way, way down the table, but I think the Dragons, because obviously Flanagan has a history to build up sides. He's a rebuild coach. He's obviously shuffled the roster a little bit. He's been unfortunate with his signings. Obviously, you've definitely heard about Ronald Volkman,
yeah,
which is unfortunate.
and Corey Allen as well.
Corey Allen, yeah, I read that as well. But yeah, and then obviously they've obviously got Kyle Flanagan now.
Yeah,
Obviously, Kyle played his best footy under his father. And
Yeah.
when he was at Cronulla.
he was pretty good at Roosters as well.
I don't think he was.
I thought he was. I really rated him at Roosters.
I don't think so. I don't know. That's just me though. But
He was good at Sharks as well though. There's no
I think
debate
his
to
best footy was at Cronulla.
that. I'd almost say his best footy was at Roosters. I thought he did well
I
at
was so
Roosters.
shitty.
He was the top point scorer until like literally the last game.
That's nuts. I was so shitty when we let him go at Cronulla. I was like really pissed off.
Yeah, I like him. Like obviously he never kicked on at the Bulldogs, but I like him.
Do you wish you kept him?
Not as a halfback. I think he was developing well as a hooker. I just like him and Burton just never worked. Like
I think Kurt Mann
But-
solves the issue way.
yeah, I know, but
Kurt,
just as
Kurt
a,
Mann can play 9.
but
play
I just
lock,
liked
play
him.
back
Yeah,
row.
just as a bloke, I
Kurt
was
Mann
always
used to
close
play
with him.
fullback. Like
Kurt Mann will
seriously.
play anywhere.
Yeah.
He's a gun. One of the best utilities in the game.
I don't know why Newcastle let him go.
Maybe just cap.
I think they're an unknown quantity this year as well.
Yeah, I think they could fall out.
I think they could too.
Like,
They've
yeah.
lost Dom Young. That's bro. I don't know what player in the comp replaces his.
And then you
tries.
also like Jaden Brayley comes back into the side and just
I think he's in a
reshuffles
weird-
that spine.
I think he's in a weird spot. I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you reckon Adam O'Brien plays him at 14 or 9?
Yeah, like
Because
because
Phoenix Crosland
he had
was going,
such a good
it was going
season.
so well.
but like if you
Well, shout out Trademark Sport, Phoenix Crosland for the blue spot.
yeah, you like Brayley's like was nearly a New South Wales hooker. He's so
Yeah.
good.
Well, he was
Like you can't not have it. He
Well,
was,
he
and
was
he's
a-
the captain. Like
well when we let because obviously he's a Cronulla
yeah,
junior.
yeah.
Jaden Brayley Cronulla Junior. Obviously Blake Brayley now plays for Cronulla.
Yeah.
When we let him go instead of letting Blake Brayley go, everyone was like, "What on?
Yeah.
Earth? What the
Yeah.
fuck's going on?" Blah blah blah.
100%.
Turns out it was a good decision.
Yeah.
But like
He's a gun.
he is a gun.
He's the
He just
captain of
can't-
the
He just
side.
can't stay fit.
He has to be the 9. So
Is he? Is he the captain? I thought.
yeah,
I
him.
thought
Nah, the
Ponga was.
co-captains.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay. I was gonna say I thought Ponga was
yeah, no,
captain.
and so little things like that can just change a lot. Like, because obviously, um, Gamble and Hastings had a good connection with
Where
him,
does Cogger fit into
and
the
that's the
equation?
like a lot of people like Cogger's got to start. Nah, he'll just be bench or cup. I think
That's tough.
I've got Gamble and Hastings above him.
That's so tough.
Before last year, I couldn't believe Cogger was still in the NRL. Respectfully to him,
Wow.
like just I don't even think he was. Was he in Super League? Like, where was Jack Cogger before last year? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. He's a bit of a journeyman.
he was at the Bulldogs and like he was all right. I liked him a little bit, but he just wasn't that. Like, he was not on Hastings level for sure. And like Gamble was really good at the back end of last year. I think Jack Cogger's just another player that was in the Panthers system and looked good.
Yeah. Wow. But then
Good depth halfback. Like, I'm not knocking Jack
with
Cogger.
this Penrith juggernaut and obviously Luai leaving, who do you see taking that 6 jersey?
They got Brad Snyder there from Canberra.
I thought he
He's
was
a
at Hull.
gun. No, so he went to Hull and then signed with Panthers.
Right.
And he's like, I couldn't believe Raiders let him go, and they could use him right now this season. So I think he's a good option. They got like a guy like Kurt Falls there. They got like obviously
Falls.
like they got heaps of juniors.
My question
They got
is
Maverick. I think it's No, Jack Cole. I think it is can play 6.
my question is Dane Laurie.
Yeah, Dane Laurie's another option.
Do you reckon because obviously he's only on a 1-year deal
Yeah,
this year, but do you reckon if he has a decent year off the bench or wherever he gets played, he gets moved into the 6 next to Nat?
I think that Panthers signed Dane Laurie on a 1-year deal, knowing that it was likely Luai was leaving.
Yeah.
And thinking like we might need him, so I think he's definitely a chance
Well, he's a Penrith
of
junior,
taking
isn't
it.
he?
Yeah,
Yeah. I was going to say because he definitely didn't play for West as a junior.
yeah. I definitely think that was in their mind when they signed him.
Yeah.
That maybe he's another option to replace Luai.
Yeah.
The other thing is they could also just go to market if a
of
5/8
course.
comes on offer.
Yeah, well, I don't know who's off contract at the end of this year.
Yeah, but
You'd
like,
know better than
but
me. But
if I'm a 5/8 off contract at the end of 2024, pay me 100K, I'm going to Panthers. Like, that's almost a guaranteed comp. Like, why wouldn't you? You're playing outside the best halfback almost of all time.
Yeah.
On the
probably
trajectory.
the end of his career.
Yeah. Like, why would you not? You know what I mean? Like, who's not going to Panthers?
Yeah, absolutely.
Panthers can almost have whoever they want, really.
Yeah, they got the
That's
draw.
wild.
They got the draw card.
Yeah,
comps to basically cap
Pretty
whoever
much.
they want.
Like, I think that Nick Meaney comes off contract. He played a little bit of 5/8 at the Storm. Like, just
I don't think.
look, I don't think Panthers would go after him. But like, if you're Nick Meaney off contract and Panthers came to you and said, 300K, come play for us, you're taking it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Panthers would sign him, but like, if you're Nick Meaney,
Yeah.
you'd sign. Just as an example.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think who might be off contract. I can't really think. I'm not that good with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
At least,
I'd have to pull up the list.
yeah, pull up the. Is it Zero Tackle?
Yeah,
Zero
tackle
have-
usually
have-
track it
Yeah, they
well.
usually
Yeah,
have some of the best ones.
yeah.
But yeah. Well, I think we talked for a little bit, but I just want to end this off with. Obviously, you've been making content with the Dogs. Obviously, I've seen on your TikTok, you've been interviewing some of the Dogs players. I saw Jacob Preston. I saw Matt Burton.
Yeah,
and Josh
boy.
Curran.
Yeah.
Is there any moves or anything that we see or potentially on the horizon or anything
No,
further with
not
that?
really. Just as I said, just keep doing my thing, and then hopefully things come off the back of it. Next week I've actually got something lined up, not with the Bulldogs, but a bit of I'd say it's a pretty big step in
Yeah.
going towards where I want to go. I'll tell you that off camera
Yep.
because you're dropping this Thursday, and
Yep.
got to keep the cards close to my chest.
Yep.
But so yeah, as I said, I just my job this year is to just keep making content consistently.
Yeah.
Try and get better.
Any sort of
And-
consistency, like routine consistency, or
Like as I said on TikTok, I'm posting that once a day, weekly vlogs, weekly podcasts, and then just try and improve the quality as I go. But that's just something I guess you're always trying to do. You're always trying to improve your content.
Yeah.
So and then if I do that, it almost sounds like I'm an NRL player saying like if I do my job, good things happen. It's like when you ask a footy player like, Origin this year, they're always like, I just want to do my job at club footy, and then
if you reap the rewards of club
yeah,
footy,
if I'm playing good
rep
club
call-ups
footy,
inbound.
yeah, that'll sort itself out. So that's where I'm sort of at.
That's good.
If I just keep doing my thing, hopefully things will come.
It's like me at the moment. Like, obviously, I made a video last week which was very different style. Like, it was very not anything I've done prior, and it's by far my best performing
Yeah.
video by far. Like,
Well, on YouTube.
yeah, on YouTube, yeah, by far. TikTok's very different. Like, TikTok algorithms, like, I can't pick what TikTok
Yeah.
likes or what it doesn't. Like, I'm still struggling with it.
Yeah.
YouTube, I'm starting to get the hang of, right?
And then once you find something that goes good, that's when you just do more of it.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but I need to try and find the fine line between my podcast content and what was effectively real life content. Like, it was very choreographed and edited well, and like, you know, very well structured and all that stuff. Like, it just clicked. Like, and the response I got from it was awesome. Like, everyone's like, yeah, that's what you're doing there is working.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think if I just keep doing that, and I really like when I posted that video, I'm like, this is sick. Like, I've never done anything like this, and clearly everyone else thought the same.
Sometimes there's a video you're making, you'll be like, this is it. Yeah.
I'm like,
Sometimes you get that feeling.
it.
Yeah.
And it's like even when I did the Jewel vlog when we went to Shark Park,
Yeah.
and I did the Tigers game the night before, and just by some miracle, that's the night that Twelve scored his first try.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's it. I'm like, I've done it. I'm like, that's got to be it. That's got to be the poster board, everything of that video.
Yeah.
It worked out well, but you know, obviously, just slow steps, and hopefully we get somewhere. But yeah. Is there anything else you want to add? Any more unpopular opinions? I'm still trying to cook. I can't think of anything that outrageous.
Pretty much said all the ones that I was thinking.
Yeah. All right. Well, in that case, we might just leave it there, and we'll probably see some more content from, well, definitely you, definitely me. Whether we make a lot more together, probably will.
There'll be some collabing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, preseason game coming up. We might be there. We might shoot some stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'll definitely be there.
Yeah.
I know you've got your tickets.
Yeah, so. I've got my ticket. Cronulla Dogs.
Yeah.
And
Belmore Sports Ground, baby.
Belmore. I've never been there.
I'm going to introduce you to the area.
Oh, mate.
Come get a kebab before the game.
Anyway, all right, that's been a wrap for Check the Score this week. I'll leave Winston's links in the description, and and we'll see you next week for more content.
Let's try it.